I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
Solange Knowles still has her foot planted on Jay-Z's neck, and in 2025, she's pressing down harder than ever. No backing off, no holding back, just straight heat. After calling him out for being a handler and blackballing artists in the industry, Solange has taken things nuclear, alleging that Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce 12 times. Mr. Carter allegedly moving like it's still Big Pimpin' season, running through Hollywood with no chill, while Solange says she's done protecting him. Now she's on a mission to expose every secret she says he's buried. And the big question everyone's asking, why now? Is Solange finally fed up, or is she revealing the truth that's been hidden for years? Either way, the internet is on fire. Social media is calling it Solange versus the system, because she's not just talking. She's naming names, dropping hints, and flashing what she calls receipts. Let's rewind. We all remember that infamous elevator fight after the 2014 Met Gala, right? When Solange went off on Jay-Z while Beyonce stood silently between them. For years, people thought it was random drama. But according to Solange, it wasn't random at all.
Jay-Z wants me broken, stopped, or under his control. And it ain't gonna happen, Sean. I'm never gonna be under your control. You need to learn how to control your wife.
She says that on that very night, she had just found out Jay was seeing another woman. That's what allegedly set her off. And here in 2025, she's connecting the dots. She says that night was only the tip of the iceberg. Now she's digging deep, posting clips, teaming up with people from the past, all to show the world the real Jay-Z. She's even backing up artists who say Jay used his industry power to silence them. Let's start with Mýa, the singer best known for Best of Me. Back in the early 2000s, Jay featured on the remix, a classic track. But behind the scenes, according to producers, things got tense. They claim Jay walked into the studio confident, ready to record, but didn't vibe with Mýa's energy. One producer said Jay looked at her like she was ungrateful. Then allegedly, he just walked out mid-session. After that, people around her told Mýa she needed to smooth things over just to get him back in the booth. Fast forward a few years and Mýa's career seemed to stall. Later, she admitted in interviews that she'd faced backlash because she refused to play along with a powerful figure in the industry. She never said who, but everyone connected the dots. Then came the elevator fight, and boom, Mýa's name was dragged back into headlines.
I know what I feel, and when I feel negativity, and when I feel bullshit, and when I feel ultimatums coming my way, there are some people, not everyone, that have huge egos.
Blogs accused her of being Jay's secret side piece. She clapped back immediately, saying, "Never did, never was, never will." She doubled down. "I pay my own bills, I run my own label, and I respect marriage too much for that nonsense." In 2025, Solange revived the story, saying Jay allegedly did have something with Mýa, and when she ended it, he used his power to blackball her. According to Solange, this wasn't a one-off, it was part of a pattern. Next, Solange questioned something even deeper, the timeline of when Jay and Beyonce really met. The official story says Beyonce was 18, but Solange pulled out an old 2007 Charlie Rose interview where Jay says he met Beyonce 10 years ago. That puts their first meeting around 1997, when Beyonce was about 15 or 16 and Jay was 27 or 28.
For Beyonce, and I'm assuming because somebody was paying her to pump Beyonce up so Beyonce could blow up, because the truth is, that first Beyonce solo record was a mess. It was.
Fans did the math and lost it. That revelation alone had people calling it creepy and predatory. Solange didn't have to say much, the internet ran with it. And the conversation shifted from relationship goals to was it grooming. Then came another name, Charlie Baltimore. According to Solange, Jay's first affair happened right as his thing with Beyonce was starting. The other woman, Charlie Baltimore. When Charlie tried to walk away, Jay allegedly got jealous, especially after she started dating a producer. Now remember, Jay was arrested years ago for stabbing a producer in a club. The official story said it was about leaked music from Vol 3 Life and Times of S. Carter. But Solange and rapper Cam'ron both hint that it wasn't about music at all. Cam'ron said it straight. It wasn't over money. It was over a chick, Charlie Baltimore. If true, that means the leak story was a cover, and the real motive was jealousy. So now people are asking, was Jay really defending his music or his pride? But Solange didn't stop there. She brought up Aaliyah. She claims Jay was pursuing Aaliyah even while he was seeing Beyonce behind the scenes.
When he did the record with Jay, that's why I was that was almost like one of the things where I was just like, he's out of here, Jay. I just let it go because I couldn't believe he did a project with her, with R. Kelly, knowing that he had raped my girl.
The problem? His close friend and business partner Dame Dash was already in love with her. That's when things got messy. Solange says Jay's obsession with Aaliyah destroyed friendships and business partnerships, and it's what really caused the split between Jay and Dame. Even Dame himself admitted Jay had strong feelings for Aaliyah. And artist Jaguar Wright went further, saying Jay got revenge the only way he knew how, by taking control of Rockefeller and cutting Dame out. He'll slump anyone for $1, she said. Look how he did Dame. Cold, malicious. Maybe it's because she was the girl who didn't want him. Solange points to that pattern, power, jealousy, and control, as something Jay's been repeating for decades.
But wait, wasn't this all around the time when Aaliyah died?
Yeah.
And Beyonce's solo career was struggling? Jam on your horn now, that shit-ass record. From the Austin Powers shit, it was some of the worst shit ever.
Then there's Emile Whitehead, the first female rapper signed to Rockefeller. She toured with Jay during the Hard Knock Life era and even recorded with Beyonce. But according to Solange, Jay was allegedly involved with Emile at the same time. In a 2011 interview, Emile said she still loved Jay and wished they could talk for closure. No bad blood, just unfinished emotion. Now Solange is reframing that as another example of Jay mixing personal life and business and cutting ties when women got too close. And then the story that never stops haunting people, Kathy White. Back in 2010 and 2011, Kathy was a rising model rumored to be linked to Jay-Z. Photos surfaced of them together at a party with Diddy.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane.
Blogs exploded claiming Jay was cheating again and that Beyonce was pregnant with Blue Ivy at the time. Then suddenly, tragedy. Less than 24 hours later, Kathy was found dead. The first autopsy said a head wound, then a new report claimed it was an aneurysm. Her social media pages vanished overnight. That's when people started whispering, too much of a coincidence. No proof, no confirmation, just eerie silence. Now in 2025, Solange has brought Kathy's name back, reigniting one of the darkest chapters in Jay-Z's rumor history. Solange also mentions Claudia Schillen, a Belgian beauty queen. Claudia once said Jay sent over a giant Ace of Spades bottle to her table. He told her, "I've been all over the world, but the girls here are the prettiest." According to Claudia, they spent the night together, and Jay never once mentioned Beyonce or Blue Ivy. Not once. That silence, it said everything. Then there's Teairra Mari. Jay signed her when she was a teenager, promising her the world. Her debut album dropped, didn't chart like they wanted, and suddenly she was dropped from Rockefeller. Jay said it was business, but Solange says otherwise. According to long-running industry whispers, Jay had a thing for Teairra, and when she got close to Ray J, he allegedly got jealous. Then when Beyonce found out, she confronted Jay and made sure Teairra's career was erased. After that, no new label, no features, no promotion, total blackout. Solange calls it what she believes it was, a blacklisting. And she says that's part of the larger system of control, women getting punished for being inconvenient to the powerful. Let's connect the dots. Mýa, Charlie Baltimore, Aaliyah, Emile Whitehead, Kathy White, Claudia Schillen, Teairra Mari. Solange says they all form a pattern of power, jealousy, and cover-ups. She's not just accusing Jay of cheating. She's accusing him of using power as a weapon to silence, to blacklist, to erase. And while nothing's been proven in court, the consistency of the whispers has the internet buzzing.
Because you got Beyonce in the Beehive looking real fucking dumb right now. 5 million unfollowed, and that number's gonna go up with every image.
Even Jay himself has admitted to infidelity. Remember 444? He made a whole album about it and turned his mistakes into millions. Solange is basically saying, you don't get to monetize pain and call it healing. And then there's the rumor that never seems to die, the alleged secret son. For years, whispers have circled that Jay has a child with another woman, someone who, according to the chatter, was underage when they first met. There's no public DNA proof, no verified court document that settles it, but like clockwork, the story resurfaces every few years, louder, sharper, harder to ignore. In 2025, it's back again, louder than ever. Singer Jaguar Wright keeps calling Jay out, connecting him to past accusations involving Teairra Mari, Rihanna, Aaliyah, and even Beyonce herself. She calls it industry sickness. And honestly, people are starting to listen. The comparisons are dark, some fans even saying his alleged behavior mirrors the same kind of abuse of power we saw with R. Kelly. Now that's not proven, but it's the conversation Solange has triggered, and it's making everyone reevaluate what they thought they knew about Jay-Z. Let's be real. Jay-Z and Beyonce have built an empire. Music, fashion, film, business, politics, philanthropy, a global portfolio, a cultural footprint you can see from space. Together, they've become the definition of success and power. A brand so polished, it reflects light. But Solange's campaign? It's tracing hairline fractures under the gloss, the places where image and intimacy stop lining up. To her, this isn't jealousy or attention, it's truth and protection. She says she's watched Beyonce stay loyal through humiliation, and she's done watching in silence. Some fans say Solange is crossing a line. Others say she's the only one willing to step over it, because sometimes the truth doesn't fit inside a press release, and sometimes the cost of telling it is your comfort, your credits, your connections. This is the part nobody posts. NDAs, gatekeepers, crisis comms, the quiet meetings where narratives get negotiated before they're believed. The way apology can be monetized while accountability has to be lived. And then there's Beyonce, artist, mother, mogul, carrying arenas on her back and a legacy on her name. What does freedom look like when your calendar is contracts, your memories are headlines, and the person who hurt you is also the person who helped build the castle? Solange is asking the questions brands can't answer. Is healing a lyric or a boundary? Is loyalty a virtue or a cage? What's the difference between protecting a marriage and protecting a myth? Because this isn't just about two people. It's catalogs and companies, partners and politics, philanthropy optics and stadium economics. The machinery that hums so loud you can't hear the people inside it breathe. And now she's teasing that she's sitting on hard proof, not whispers, not winks, receipts. What does that even mean in 2025? Messages, photos, studio logs, travel overlaps, money trails, enough context to turn a rumor into a record. If released, she says it could shake the entire industry. Maybe that's hyperbole, or maybe it's the pre-quake tremor before the marble starts to crack. Either way, this is the moment before the drop, where the music holds its breath and everyone decides who they're going to be when the lights come back up. So what happens next? Does Beyonce finally walk away? Does Jay respond with a statement, a track, or silence louder than both? Or does the industry circle the wagons again to protect one of its most powerful men? Because right now, things inside the Carter circle are tense. Rumors of divorce are swirling again this fall, and fans are saying Solange might be the one pushing Beyonce to make that move. But there are other paths too. Maybe we see a controlled reset, a united front, a carefully curated interview, the kind of reconciliation arc that turns scandal into streaming numbers. Maybe it's muted separation, 2 calendars, 3 public sightings, no confirmation, a slow fade designed to keep the brand intact while the bond unravels in private. Or maybe it's full accountability, not a lyric, not a caption, but real change with boundaries, timelines, and consequences that aren't merchandised. Watch the signals. If Beyonce goes quiet and tightens her circle, that's one story. If she leans into the stage, new visuals, new verses, new venom, that's another. If Jay calls in the executive cavalry, PR heavyweights, brand partners, philanthropic headlines, expect a narrative shift. Legacy first, controversy second. And if Solange keeps turning up the volume, more names, more context, maybe even documents, then the pressure doesn't just stay in the comments, it moves into boardrooms, contracts, partnerships. Because this isn't only about a marriage, it's about catalogs, companies, and cultural memory. It's about who controls the story and who refuses to be edited out of it. At the end of the day, this story isn't just celebrity drama. It's about power, image, and truth about what the public is told versus what really happens behind velvet ropes and airtight NDAs. It's about how far a machine will go to protect a brand and how far a sister will go to protect family. Solange says she's moving from a place of love that she wants her sister free from what she calls a toxic loop. And whether you see that as courageous or chaotic, you can't deny the clarity of her mission. No more silence. Maybe she's crossing lines, maybe she's telling the truth. Maybe she's doing both at the same time. Because sometimes stepping out of line is the only way people finally look up from the script. And that's the heart of it, the difference between healing and hiding, between apologizing in music and being accountable in real life, between a polished narrative and a complicated reality. Because legacies aren't just built on hit records and sold-out arenas. They're built on choices, on what you deny, what you justify, and what you decide to change, on who you protect when the cameras are off. One thing's crystal clear, Solange is not backing down. She's louder, bolder, and more relentless than ever. And the Carter Empire? From the outside, it still gleams. But if you listen past the PR and the playlists, you can hear the marble starting to crack. So where does it go from here? Reconciliation, reinvention, or rupture? That answer won't come from a headline. It'll come from what happens next, in private, where truth has nowhere to hide. So what do you think? Is Jay-Z really untouchable? Or is Solange about to flip the entire script once again? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more of The Real Tea. Stay tuned because this story is far from over.